Yes, welcome back to Progen Media for all the latest news, for all the latest updates, information happening around town. Yes, many thanks to you wherever you're watching in from, our people in different countries. Yes, shout outs to you. Yes, consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and also just turn on the notification button so as you're notified. Yes, in today's story, the US State Department has pinned Uganda government on human rights violations, citing civil society and opposition politicians have for long called targeted brutality against dissenting voices. Titled 2020 Country Reports on Human Rights Practices in Uganda, singles out police, the UPDF, local defense unit personnel, and the Uganda prisons for engaging in arbitrary arrests, forced disappearances, torture, and extrajudicial killings. The government was reluctant to investigate, prosecute, or punish officials who committed human rights abuses, whether in the security services or elsewhere in government. And impunity was a problem, the report reads in part. Yes, it adds that there were numerous reports the government or its agents committed arbitrary or unlawful killings, including torture. The law provides for several agencies to investigate, inquire into, and or prosecute unlawful killings by the security forces. Human rights campaigners, however, claimed these agencies were largely ineffective. That is what the report says. Yes, according to the report, security forces killed individuals who disagreed with government and those who participated in protests against the government. Yes, prominent on the list are the forced disappearances of a number of Ugandans orchestrated by security forces, which the report says government has never come out to explain itself on. Civil society organizations and opposition activists reported that security forces arrested, beat, and killed civilians as punishment for allegedly violating regulations to combat the pandemic, the report states. Yes, impunity was a problem, and it was widespread in the UPDF, Uganda Police Force, and the executive branch. The security forces did not take adequate measures to investigate and bring to account officers implicated in human rights abuses, especially in incidents involving members of the political opposition, the report added. The report says although the law prohibits arbitrary arrests and detention, security forces often arbitrarily arrested and detained persons, especially opposition leaders, politicians, activists, demonstrators, and journalists. While the law requires authorities to inform detainees immediately of the reason for detention, at times they did not do so. Security forces often held opposition political members and other suspects incommunicado and under house arrest, the report says. The report faults the police, media, and political crimes unit and the media regulators for monitoring all media spaces and restricting media freedom. The report says government restricted freedoms of peaceful assembly and associations, and its failure to investigate or prosecute attacks on human rights defenders and peaceful protesters led to de facto restrictions on freedom for assembly and associations. Yes, latest news coming in on Progen Media TV. Yes, many thanks to you wherever you've been tuned in from. Kindly consider subscribing. That has been the US State Department pinning Ugandan government on human rights violations. Yes, consider subscribing and also turning on the notification button.